Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be a video to show you every single vehicle in Farming Simulator 25. I'm not going to buy them all, drive them all, test them all out for you. It's not the purpose of this video. It's just to go through the store and show you a couple of the different customization options for some of them and to show you which ones actually exist in the game for you to buy. So let's go ahead and hop into our store, which is still P on PC. You can obviously shop in the store by a brand or vehicle or pack, or you can look at used vehicles, or you can look at by mod or whatever the case may be. But anyhow, let's go back up here. We're just going to go category by category and go through it. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. So if we go to drivables under small tractors, we have the Landini Rex. You can see there's an engine and wheel brand and wheel setup, that sort of stuff. You can customize the color, and then you can see some of the stats here. I'm not going to sit through and read all the stats off. If you guys are curious about a specific vehicle, just hit pause on your screen to be able to do that. And if you're looking for a specific category, like you want to look at plows or whatever you want to look at, or harvesters, there'll be some time codes down below that you'll be able to kind of slide ahead and move around and take a look at stuff. So there we go. Next up, we have the New Holland TK480 methane power. We have the Rigitrack SKH60. We have the Zetor Proxima HS. You can see we have an engine setup and a few other configurations such as front loader. Next, we have the Fendt 200V Vario. Moving down, we have the Kloss Axion 470-410 with a front loader attacher and engine configuration. Next, we have the Massey Ferguson MF 5700S. We do have an engine configuration there as well as front loader. Now, actually, one thing I could do as well, just to show you the difference, is go through the engine setups so we can kind of see them. So ranging between 95 and 130 horsepower on that one. Next up, we have the Antonio Carraro Tony 10900 TTR. Next, we have the Antonio Carraro Mach 4R. Next, we have the Fendt 300 Vario, which has a front loader attacher available, and you can change the engine setup from 113 to 123 to 133, 142, and back to 113. Next, we have the John Deere 3650. It does have a front loader attachment available as well. Next, we have the Zetor Forterra HSX. Does have a front loader attachment available, and you can change the horsepower between 117, 127, 136, and back to 117. Next up, we have the Iseki TJW. Then we have the Fendt 500 Vario, which does have a lot of extra stuff going on over here. But you can adjust the front loader on it as well. And you can change this from 131 horsepower to 141, 156, 171, and then back to 131. Next, we have the Lintner Lintrack 130. And it does have a front loader option. Moving on to our last couple here, we have the Sammy Virtus 135 RV Shift, which does have a front loader attachment available. Then we have the Deutz-Fahr 6C RV Shift, which also has a front loader attachment available to it. And that is everything for small tractors. Now the next category is medium tractors. We have the Massey Ferguson MF7S, which has a front loader available for it, and can go between 155, 165, 180, 190, 210, and back to 155 for horsepower. The Challenger MT600, we have 160 horsepower, 180 horsepower, 200 horsepower, 225 horsepower, and back to 160. The White, or the AGCO White 8010 series, we have 160 horsepower, 180 horsepower, 200 horsepower, 225 horsepower, and then back to 160. For the Zetor Crystal HD, we have 171 horsepower and a front loader attachment available. For the Kubota, we have the M8 series here, which has either 180 horsepower, 200 horsepower, or back to 180. And it does have a front loader attacher available. Moving on, we have the John Deere 6R, which has 192 horsepower, 203 horsepower, 213 horsepower, 234 horsepower, or back to 192. And this does have a front loader attacher, either yes or no down there. So you can do that as well with this one. And some of them are kind of interesting how some of these customizations are done. So it's definitely a unique shop menu, that's for sure. Moving on, we have the Fendt 700 Vario. We can go up here and we can do either 203 horsepower, 223, 243, 262, 303, or back to 203. Next, we have the Valtra T Series. We have between 210 horsepower, Oh, sorry, that's front weight. There's no engine setup standard. 210. Then we have that one there. So that's just a couple of different ones over there. But we have 230, 250 options, 271 options, and then back to 210. So there's definitely some different stuff down there that changes kind of how the transmission is. That's kind of interesting. So, oop, I don't know what I did there. But anyhow, pretty cool. And you have a lot of different stuff in here in terms of customization. So you can really customize the heck out of these guys. Next, we have the Case Puma AFS Connect. You can go between 224 horsepower, 245, 260, 271, 302, and back to 224. And you can add a front loader if you'd like to. Next, we have the New Holland T7 LWB PLMI. This one has either 224, 245, 260, 271, 302, or back to 224, and you can add a front loader to it if you'd like. Next, we have the Steyr. This has, or the Steyr, it's the Steyr Absolute CVT. You have it here with 224 horsepower, 245, 260, 271, 302, and then back to 224, and we can add a front loader if we'd like to. Then we have the Deutz-Fahr AgroStar 831. This one does not have any horsepower configurations there. We have the Series 7, which has a front loader option, no horsepower customizations there. We have the McCormick X8 VT drive. This one you can either do 264, 286, 310, or back to 264. Next, we have the Deutz-Fahr Series 8 TTV. This one has 287 horsepower, no front loader customizations there, and that is all of our medium tractors. So quite a few tractors. I feel like there's more than there is normally in a game, but I could be wrong. Large tractors, we still have quite a few in here as well, which is just absolutely incredible. So starting off here, we have the Valtra S series. You can do 280 horsepower, 310, 340, 370, 400, 420, or back to 280. Anything down there? Nope, nothing down there in terms of that. Most large tractors don't have front loader attachments available. We have the Massey Ferguson MF9S. We can do 285 horsepower, 310, 340, 370, or 400, and 425, and that's it. That back down to 285 there. And you can see a lot of them, we have the US or the EU configuration that we can choose there as well if available, which is super cool. Next up, we have the Fendt 900 Vario. So we have one with 296 horsepower, 326, 355, 385, 415, and back to 296, which is pretty sweet. So like that. And you can see the horsepower ranges down here. Maybe that's what I should do instead of going through reading through, but we're already kind of committed to this method now. We move on, we have the John Deere 7R series. We can do 305 horsepower, 332, 352, 373, 388, 305. So go back down that way. Then we have the John Deere 8R, moving up another set here. We have 326, 357, 388, 420 horsepower, 458, and then back down to 326. Moving on, we have the New Holland T8 Genesis series, which can do 351 horsepower, 381, 409, 435, and then back to 351. Then we have the John Deere 8RT, which can go between 357, 388, 420, 458, and then back to 357. The John Deere 8RX has 357, 388, 420, or 458 horsepower. So a few options there. Then we have the Case IH Magnum AFS Connect series, 74 horsepower base. Then we can move up to 418, 435, or back down to 374 there. Then we have the Fendt 1000 Vario, one of my favorite tractors. You have the 396 horsepower there, 435, 476, or the whopping 517 for the Fendt 1050. Let's go. And then back down to 396. I love the Fendt 1050. John Deere for the 9R, we have 484 horsepower, 539, 594, 640, it's ridiculous. 691, it keeps going, and then back down to 484, so much horsepower. The Fendt 1100 Vario MT, we have 511, 564, 618, 673, and back to 511. The John Deere 9RX, 539, 594, 649, 691, and back to 539 horsepower. Then we have the Kloss Zerion 12. This one can do 585 horsepower, 653, or back to 585. Then finally, our last large tractor, one of the coolest of all tractors ever made, we have the Case IH Steiger 715 Quadtrac, which just has a whopping 778 horsepower right off the bat. So there you go. That's what we got for large tractors. moving on to trucks, here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. So we have some cool stuff in here that you guys may have not been aware of. So first we have the Lizard Dragon, which we can do standard extension. Or sorry, is it standard? Yeah, standard. And then extension bumps it up to 7,600. Then we have a bale trailer option, back to standard. International, we can do a flatbed on this guy. This is a really cool truck that I don't think we thought we were going to get. Then we have a tipper. We have a box body, and then back to the flatbed. So really cool. We can do a crew cab as well as a day cab on that too, which is also notable. Then we have the International Transstar. We can do a day cab or a sleeper, so that's pretty cool. Do tandem long, tandem short. So you got those two options there. Dual exhaust if you want to. Design 2 if you want for the intake. Sunshield, yes or no. Horn, yes or no. Really cool truck. Then we have the Max Anthem, which you can do day cab premium, sleeper 48, sleeper 48 fairing, sleeper 70, and then back to the day cab, which is pretty cool. Now engine setup, you can go 425, 455, 505, or back to 425. Then we have the Black Anthem here by Mac. We can do 425, 455, 505, or back to 425 for that one. And then down here we have the Volvo FH Electric. We have the globe, that's the roof there. For the electric, we can do 450 horsepower or 666. That's crazy, which is wild. Now you can see it does get a lot heavier, which makes sense. You're adding probably quite the battery to that. But you have some other options in here for colors and all sorts of configurations. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a cool truck to have in the game. Then we have the Max Superliner, which you have a couple of different designs here. So you can do the Freedom design there if you want to, or however you want to do it. 500 horsepower for that bad boy. Then we have the Volvo VNX 300 here. We have a ton of customizations through here as well. 500 horsepower for that. We can do tandem short or tandem long for that as well. Then moving on, we have the Volvo FH16. If we go into here, 600 horsepower stock. You can also bump that up to 700, 780, or back down to 600. And of course, you have different configurations through here as well if you wanted to change that. Now, front mounting, yes. Oh, interesting. I thought that'd be like a 3-point link somehow, which wouldn't really make sense. And then finally, we have this guy. It's a new truck. This is the Riedelfausen, I'm not even trying to say it, the FH16 RUL HKR, which you can do 600 horsepower, 700, 780, or back down to 600. Looks like it's the same engine as, well, is it a Volvo? Looks like it's a Volvo engine, but I think maybe this is the setup that is a setup for Volvo that's done by this company, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, like that. That's all the trucks. A lot of trucks there. Cars and bikes. First off, we've got a couple of cool things in here, which we'll get down to this guy in a second. We have the Aprilia here, which is the Black Spider there, White Wonder, or back to Black Spider, 15 horsepower, nothing too crazy there. Then we have the little Skoda guy, which we've gotten these in fact sheets, so nothing too crazy there. We've seen this before, the Sidekick. You can do a 3-point on the back if you want to, design 1 or design 2 there. Then we have the Antonio Carraro Tiger Car 3200 GT. You can do a platform if you want to instead. Then we have the Kubota RTV X1140WH, which you can change the capacity on there to 1,000 or the design a little bit as well, which is pretty cool. Moving down, we have the International Truck, which this is super cool. You can design 2 if you'd like to, and you can do a trailer hitch or not on there, which is super awesome. So this is a really cool truck. Glad that we got this in there. We have the Skoda, our first branded car. I know it's not an American brand, but it is a branded car, which you guys have asked for. So here we go. You have the RS version of that as well, which is pretty cool. And you can do different window tints as well on there, which is awesome. And then finally, the famous Pickup 2017 is back as well, which is pretty cool. So there you guys go. We got that. If we move on over to the miscellaneous category, we have the Prinith Light Wolf Agri Power. Has 435 horsepower. Very cool snow worker there. This guy right here, this is the Ropa Nauro Mass. You can see it holds a lot of different fill types down there as well. And you have a couple different customizations in here as well. This is designed to pick stuff up off the ground and put it into a trailer or something. And if we move down, we still have a long ways to go. A lot of stuff to look at here. There's a ton of stuff, though, in the game, so I just figured it'd be easier to do one long video this way. Schaefer 23E. So you got that there. You can do a couple different configurations for battery. It doesn't change the horsepower, but you can make it last a little bit longer, which is pretty cool. Then we have this guy right here. We have the Kubota. For front loaders, you can see we have, I'm not even going to go in here. There's not going to be a lot of configurations in here, but you see we have the Quickie, the Hauer, the Quickie Q6, the Hauer XB190, the John Deere 663R, the Quickie Q7M, the Kubota M77, and the John Deere 700. So, and again, some of these have color configurations, some don't, so just be aware of that. Front loader tools, we have the universal bucket, which again, these guys, I don't really need to go in, I don't think, into the menu. There's not going to be a lot of stuff in there. We have the pallet fork here, bale spike, bale king, manure fork. We have the fork with grapple, round bale fork, bale handler, log fork, silage cutter. And again, if you want to pause, you can pause and you can see all the different stats for these guys down at the bottom. And the GoVeal bale handler, the GoVeal bale handler BTGQU. Then we have the Quickie big bag lifter single and the dual. And then we also have this guy to make chop beets, but it can also hold other stuff as well. This thing is designed to cut sugar beets, though, if you wanted to use it as such. Telehandlers, we have the Manitou here first off. Pretty cool to see that guy in the game. Then we have the Cenobogan, which we've seen before. Cool to see this as a new brand to the game. We have a Fendt wheel loader in here, which is kind of cool to have that. Then we have the Merlot, which this is the one that goes up in the air, if that's what you're curious about. And then we have the Schaefer here, which is awesome. So pretty cool. Hop out of there. Telehandler buckets. We have universal bucket, pallet fork, bale fork, wrap bale handler, manure fork, log fork, bale handler. So you have a couple of those as well there. Wheel loaders. We have 4 wheel loaders in here. First, we have the JCB. Pretty standard, pretty cool. Then we have the Volvo L120H. Then we have the L120H electric, which is pretty cool. Then we have the L180H. So massive guy here if you wanted the big old wheel loader. Cool to see that in the game. Wheel loader tools. We have the high dump bucket, pallet fork, log fork, bale fork, Sight Pro, which is basically like a log fork it looks like there. The silage fork, pallet fork, big bag lifter, rock bucket spade nose, and general purpose bucket heavy duty, which holds quite a bit. We have the high tip bucket, 5,000 liters. I think that's the biggest bucket. Well, maybe this one. Nope, 3,500. Pallet fork, big bag lifter, the unloading grapple, the rock bucket as I just showed off. Then we have this guy down here, also holds 5,000. So the heavy duty general purpose bucket for the L180H. Then you have the high tip bucket. Oh, that one holds 10,000. Never mind, that's the biggest bucket right there, which we have as part of the Platinum expansion right now. Skid steer loaders, we have the New Holland L318 and the Kubota SVL 97-2. Skid steer tools, we have the high dump bucket, pallet fork, bale spear, wrap bale handler, manure fork, brush and log fork, stump grinder, and the SFB 750, which is the rock breaker. So this can use to destroy rocks inside the forest. So looks like that feature is back as well, which is pretty cool. Then we go to forklifts here. So we have the June Rich here, which is pretty cool. I like this. This is the little electric one, which is always cool to have something like this in here. And then next we also have this little guy right here, which is the Manitou, essentially right here. So also cool to see something like this back in the game. Hop out of there. Now we're on to trailers. So this is where, again, we have trailers still, soil cultivation, seeding, yield improvement, combine harvesting, forage harvesting, grassland baling, root crops, vegetables, special crops, grapes and olives, animals, forestry, miscellaneous objects, and hand tools. Still have a lot of stuff to get through. So bear with me as we keep going, but we're making progress. Trailers. I'm not going to go into the trailers either. I don't think it's necessary. You can see all these are all going to be bulk trailers for the most part. You can see their capacity down here, and if they have a range of capacity, you'll see it down here as well. So this is 4,000 to 8,000 liters. So see that. But we have the Salic ANS 1900, the FarmTech EDK 650, the Crampy Half Pipe HP 20, the FarmTech DDK 2400, the Rudolph DK 280 RP. Then we have the Rudolph TDK 301 RP, the Rudolph TDK 301 RA. We have the Branther XXL PowerFlex, the Crampy Big Body. Oop, I went in there, sorry. And then we also have the Branther DD24073 XXL. We have the Flegel ASW. We have the Branther PT Plus, the Crampy Ram Body, the Calico Radium 255. You can see this one has very limited crop types. Then we have the Corona GX 520. And then finally, the Bergman HTW 65. So quite a few trailers in there, that's for sure. Now, some of these, like this one here, you should be able to do the extensions or not in there, and you can adjust the wheels and stuff. So they will have some customizations as well, so just be aware of that. And then we have semi-trailers, which is a separate category, so I like that they actually split those up this time. Auger wagons. I don't need to go into the menu, I think, for these either. You can see we have the Demco now, and we should also have, where is, J&M, there it is right there. There's the JMN one right there. So, Flegel, this one you can see only holds a few different things here. Runs at 10 miles an hour, which is kind of interesting. This one also looks like it has a pickup on the front, so this one will actually pick stuff up, which is pretty cool. So, a forage wagon collects hay or straw, which is cool. This is a forage wagon and a auger wagon. You can see the auger will come out, so I like that. Then we have the hay KUW 2000, the Demco 850 single auger grain cart. Then we have the Bergman GTW 330, the J&M Extended Reach 1112. Then we have the Conveyal CST 1550, the Elmer's Hallmaster, the Hay SEW 5000, the Bergman RRW 500, the Amity Technology Crop Chaser 1000, and the Mother Bin down here. Well, it doesn't say Mother Bin, but it is. It's massive, massive piece of equipment here. It holds 141,000 liters, so that thing's insane. Changing systems. So on this Annaberger here, you can buy this, and then you can hook any of these backs up to it, which is pretty cool. So you can put this guy on there, which will hold 25 to 36,000 liters of bulk crops. Then you have this guy, which serves to be able to transport these things a little bit more. This one is kind of an auger wagon. You can see it only holds certain items, though. And then finally, we have this guy right here, which is a slurry manure traveler here. And then this one, yeah, this will fertilize fields as well. 9 miles an hour is the working speed on this, so you should be able to get an applicator for the back of that. If you hit combinations, that's still available. So you can see these applicators. Well, this applicator is designed to go on the back of it, and that's what's going to hold it. So pretty cool. Flatbed trailers, got a couple in here. We got the Farm Tech DPW 1800. Then we have this guy right here, the Kroger PW, or the AgriLiner PW 24. And then we have the Corona Profi liner there. So these guys say bales on the bottom. I don't get too excited. I don't think there's going to be auto load or anything like that. There are a few different designs for some of these, but it's not going to be auto load bales to my knowledge. I haven't tested that yet, but I'd be shocked to find that out. Low loaders, we actually have quite a few in here. We have the Flegel DTS 59. We have the Denko Steel Drop Deck. We have the Load King Renowned Drop Deck. We have the Schwarzmüller Low Loader 4A and the Brandt H550 Beaver Tail. So quite a few options there. Then under semi-trailers, we have the Load King Distinction Triple Hoppler. We have Hopper, you know what I meant to say. And then here we have the Crampy SKS 301050. Now, some of these are just going to hold grain-style crops, and some of them will hold bulk, just everything. Then we have the Load King Prestige Super B. Then we have the Conveyal. Then we also have the Steel Drop Deck in here, which is interesting that this is under semi-trailers. Well, I guess semi-trailers has all these in here as well. So I guess that kind of makes sense, but they're in two categories, which is also kind of unique in that way. And then we also have the log trailer under here as well to finish that off. So you're going to see stuff in different categories, it looks like, as well, which is kind of interesting. You'd think it would put them in one category and that would be it, but it looks like they've kind of divided it up. Again, I haven't gone individually through all of these items. This is my first day having the game, but I wanted to do a video as I went through it just so you guys could see. Plows. We got the Pottinger Servo 25. And again, down here at the bottom, you have the working speed and working width for all these. So if you want to pause for any of them, you can do that. The Agromaz POV5XL, Pottinger Servo T6000P, the Lemken Titan 18, and the Kverlin PW112. We hop out of there, we go to Cultivators, got quite a few in here, and some kind of new ones. I don't think we have this guy here. We have the Kenoshi Eco Cultivator, the John Deere 980, the Amazon Senio 4000 Super, the Agromaz Grizzly X4, the Lemken Smaragd, I shouldn't even try to say that. The Treffler TJ 560, the Pottinger Turia 6040, the KUHN, I know that's not how you say that, it's just how we have to do it. Prolander 7500, we have the Horsch Tiger 8 MT, and the Lemken Coralin 9840. Move down one last row here, we have the Einbach Typhon 900 RP58, the Vaderstad NZ Extreme 1425, and then we also have the Summers, which is a new brand, the Super Chisel CP 2050, which is cool to see those. And if we want to disc arrows, we have the Salak TB100, the Kenoshi Crossmax 300, the Vaderstad Carrier XL 625, the Dalbo Powerchain 800, which this is new, pretty cool. The Farmet Softer 11 PS. We have the Kinsey Mocktail 412 and the Bednar Swifter Disc XE18 400 Mega, which is pretty big. And we go to Power Harrows. We have the Horsch Credo 3, the KUHN HR 6040 RCS, and the Bednar Cater Can. I'm done. It's over. Subsoilers. We have the Salak AKP 122, the Agrosem Disco Vine V, the Alpego K Dino 5200, the AgriSim Combi Plow Gold, the Alpago K-Force 400, and then the Alpago K Extreme 11 500. So quite a few. And some of those are going to be for like grape work and vine work and stuff like that. Mulchers, we actually have quite a few. We have the Salic MUL 1000, the TMC Cancela TPM 140, and then we also have their TDE 220. Then we have the Kenoshi Speed Max 300, and then we also have TMC's TMST 300D. So you can see this guy working with 3 meters, 7 miles an hour, 2.2, and 1.4. So basically just getting wider and wider. And then we have the Kenoshi Speed Max 560 and the Bednar Mulcher MM 7000, which this is a new piece of equipment here. Oh boy, I don't know what I've hit to do that. That's my bad there. Let me hit, there we go. Hitting all sorts of buttons. I hit the wrong one there. Okay, there we go. We got out of that. And then we got the horse there as well at the very end. So a couple cool things there. Spaders, we have one spader, the Farmax Rapide 450 trailed. And then for stone pickers, still just one stone picker. We need a bigger stone picker is what we need. I don't know if they make them in real life or not, but we have that one there. Finally, moving on to seeding. So we have the Horsch Versa 3KR, the Unia Phoenix 3003, the Great Plains Solid Stand 1500, and you can see all of these are going to do your kind of seeding style crops here. So all those will be pretty standard. Some of them will fertilize and seed, some will just seed. Then we have the Agrimass Aquila Drive 400, the KUHN HR 6040 plus BTFR 6030. We have the Bednar Omega, the KUHN Espresso, the Kokerling Ultima 800, the Novag T-Force Plus, which this is a new brand as well, the Lemkin Solitaire 12, a classic coming back there, and another classic here, the Amazon Citan 15001C coming back as well. Hop out of there, go over to planters. You're going to see they're going to do your standard planter style crops. So you have the Missouri, which is a new brand. We have the Amazon, KUHN Maxima, the Horsch Maestro, the Grimmy Matrix. And there's when we have the Optima from McVerlin, the Horsch Maestro 2450 SV, and the Kinsey 4905 Blue Drive. So there you go. And you can see, you'll see additionally the seed offers the possibility to seed directly. So you can see that down there as well in case you were curious. Seed tanks, we have the KUHN TF 1512 and the Horsch Partner 1600 FT. Pretty cool. Then we go to seeds. We have a big bag of seeds here. A just kind of a like this, the big bags, both big bags. I don't know. They're bags of seeds, and then the pallet of seeds there. So a couple different options there. Next up, we have yield improvements. We have sprayers. We have the Hardy Mega 1200L. Then we have the extra tank for it, the 1200L tank. Then we have the Hardy Aeon 5200 Delta Force. And again, at the bottom, you'll see they all do fertilizer or liquid fertilizer and herbicide. Their working speed, they're working with adjustments there and how much they can hold. They have the Amazon UX 5201 Super, the Agro Dino 2, and then finally, we have the AgriFac Condor Endurance 2, which what's interesting in here is we don't have the big Hardy Super Sprayer. That one's missing from here, which is really sad. That's a great sprayer, unless it's somewhere else, but I would think it would be under yield improvement, especially since these are all under here. So, yeah, that is sad. The big old Hardy sprayer. Now, this one's pretty, this one actually might be bigger, 54 meters. I think that's bigger than what the other one would go up to. That's pretty impressive, but still sad not to have that one returning, the big old Hardy sprayer. So it is what it is, I suppose. And yeah, we're missing a couple sprayers. They're pretty much all new ones for Base King Farming Simulator 25. Now, they might have more coming later as extra add-ons and stuff like that, but that's what we have for now. Moving on. Manure Spreaders. We have the Farm Tech VarioFlex or VarioFlex 750. Then the Brancher TA 12050 Power Spread. The Hay DST 16. I'm probably saying that brand wrong, but you don't have to correct me. It's fine. Bergman TSW 6240W and the Samson US 235 Dynamic. And again, these are all going to spread manure. You can see at the bottom, it says their horsepower requirements and all the stuff you'd want to know about them. So just hit pause on your video if you're curious about a specific one. Fertilizer Spreaders, we have the Salic RZK 300H, the Amazon ZATS 3200, the Braidall K105, which do lime and fertilizer. You can see those both are just fertilizer. And then this guy right here just does fertilizer there. So one lime spreader available only. That's kind of interesting. Moving on, we have slurry tanks. We have the Farm Tech. We have the Anibauger, which that goes on the back of the stuff that we did. So we already looked at that one. That goes on the back of that. Oh my gosh, my combinations. This guy right here and it hooks up to that. Then we have the Flegel, the Quebeco, another big Samson there, the Garant, and then the Oxbow AT 5105. This one's pretty cool. I like that one. And you can see all these guys right here will do different things. This one can do manure as well. Most of these are just going to do slurry and digestate. So this one will be if you did that to make it the manure spreading back, which is pretty cool. And I'm assuming that, I'm surprised actually that wasn't under here as well, since it does both. Maybe some organization for the shop might need to be happening. But anyhow, we have a few different kind of slurry applicators here. We have the Zune Hammer. Then we have the first one by Samson here. Then we have Bomex Track Pack. They're multi-profi and they're multi 4XL. And then Samson has a bigger one down here, the SBH 436. Slurry Transport, we have a couple by Zune Hammer. We have the ULT 18 and the ULT 24. Then we have Garant, we have the TSA 30,000, and then this guy right here, which is supposed to just sit by your field and refill from it. So pretty cool to have those there. Hop out of there. Then we go to Weeders. We have the Gornick, we have Pottinger, the Einbach, Elmer's manufacturing there, and then the super big Einbach right there. Pretty cool. Rollers, we have the Vadersaid Rexius 1230 and the Brandt Land Roller 59 or 591A. Yeah, something like that. Consumables, we have solid fertilizer, and then we also have lime, and we have a big solid fertilizer big bag, and then a lime big bag there. No brand for that. I think that's how it is now, but it's just kind of interesting to me. Then we have liquid fertilizer right there. Liquid fertilizer down there, just a different brand. Same prices in terms of everything. It's just whether you want to buy it from Corteva or Helm. And then we have Corteva's herbicide and Helm's herbicide as well. Nothing too crazy in there. Now we're down to some of the more exciting stuff here. We have combine harvesters. So first off, we have the Massey Ferguson right here. Then we have the Kloss Evian. Massey Ferguson Beta 7360 AL4. The Fendt 5275 CSL. The Case Axial Flow 7250. Or 7150, excuse me. The John Deere S7, which this one you can do either 547, 579, 625, or back to 547 horsepower on it. The Kloss Lexion. The John Deere X9. The Kloss Lexion 8000, which you can do different. You can do 790, 700. Yeah, 790 or 700. Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. Then we have the New Holland CR11, which is super cool. Design, I think, is this how you do? Well, you got a couple different. The camouflage one is super cool. Crawler track on there or not, depends on what you want to do. And the short or long pipe as well on that. Is the gold edition its own? Yep. Then we have the gold edition down here, which is a part of a pre-order. The pre-order bonus is the Macton pack. You get this if you order, I think, if this is part of the collector's edition. But anyhow, you might have it, you might not have it. If you don't have it, I think you don't have the collector's edition. I think is what it comes with. But anyhow, pretty cool. And then we have the Case IHAF 11, which is just a massive, massive harvester. Basically the same thing as CR11 though, so to be fair. Then grain headers. We have the Massey Ferguson header there. And you'll see at the bottom the working speed, the working width, and the crops to harvest. Kloss header. Massey again. Fendt. Case header. Larger case header. John Deere RDF 35. The Kloss Convio. The John Deere HD 45X. Then we have the Convio Flex 1380. Then moving on, we have the John Deere HD 50. And then we have the Macton here, which is part of the pre-order bonus. So if you have the pre-order bonus, you get the Macton pack there. I believe that's part of that. Oh no, that one's actually part of the game. Sorry, this is one part of the pre-order bonus. So that's the one right there. And then we move back up here. We have, oops, I don't need to go in there. We have the Case Flex Draper. Then we have the New Holland, which is basically the equivalent. And then we have the Gold Edition to go with your New Holland CR11 Gold Edition. So those are all 15.2 meters, which are huge. And that Macton one as well. And that one's 12.5 down there. But anyhow, corn headers. The Case one, we have a Capello, a Geringhoff, which this one, I was curious. Yeah, okay. Nope, that's all. It's just a 9 meter. I didn't know if there's anything special. We didn't know a lot about that one there. We have the Case one there, large Case one. We have a large New Holland one as well. John Deere foldable one there, and then another Geringhoff one there, which is cool to see. 13 meters. That's the widest one. That's pretty wide. So that's a pretty hefty corn header there. Specialty headers. We have the Geringhoff. This one right here is for sunflowers. It's basically a Helianthus header here. So it's designed to do sunflowers only, but it can do it faster. And this one's designed to do sorghum only, which is kind of interesting, and it does it faster. And then there's also the Macton pack, which is designed to pick up your swath crops, which does work at 7 miles per hour, which is pretty cool. Then we have header trailers in here. So we have Massey. Then we have a bunch from Nardi. And then we have a Demco one at the very end there. Finally, we have windrowers. So this is part of the Macdon pack as well, pre-order bonus. We have the Macdon M1240 right there right off the bat. If we go in here, engine setup, you can do 262 or 173. And then we have the Draper here, the E140 XL. I just struggling. I've been reading so many names. And this one right here, you'll see, can swath those crops for you. And this one here can cut those crops for you if you'd like to do that, including grass on there, which 14 miles an hour, that's pretty fast actually for that to run. But yeah, there you go. Moving down, we're down to forage harvesting. Look, we're almost halfway through the shop. We have so many things left to do. Oh, there's so many things. It'll be such a long video, ridiculously long video. Forage harvesters. We have this guy right here, which can harvest these guys if you'd like to. That one, does that work with something? Yeah, you hook these guys up right here if you want to. I love it says the Fent is the tractor that goes with that. That's not really true necessarily, but I'm sure that's the perfect tractor. So anyhow, then we have the Katana here, which we go in here. Use 650, 847. So a couple different horsepower configurations. Then this guy, the 9000 series, do 770, 870, 970, or back to 770. The FR 780 here. The Kloss Jaguar. And then the Krona Big X. So a couple different options there. And then headers. Kloss pickup header there. You can see what it's going to pick up. And this one can pick up swath crops as well. So it does look like swathing in a way is going to be kind of part of the base game. But I don't think that this is going to harvest it. I think it's just going to pick it up. So if you wanted to pick it up, you could pick it up to sell it. But you can't. You're not going to. It's not going to be the same thing. Then we have the Kemper. The John Deere. Krona. The direct disc, so this will chop these guys up. So chop these guys up. Poplar header there by New Holland. Then we have all the different Kemper and John Deere and other things. So these are all the corn headers. But they'll also do other crops as well. A lot of different options. Lots and lots of options for holy forage harvester headers. There's a lot of them in here. Again, I haven't gone through everything on here, so there's just a lot of stuff. And then we finally end up with the Krona X-Collect 900 there, big old header there. Then we have header trailers for those. And we have the Comfort support wheel here as well. And then the header trailer there for Krona. Levelers, we got the Polaris. Silage compaction, also the Polaris. And the consumables, we have silage additive right there. Down to mowers. We have this little guy here. The Samaz set there between that one and this one. Then we have the Vermeer one. We have the ELO. Then we have the KUHN, which this one plus this guy right here are a really good starting kind of mower setup. And also running the Samaz together is also really good. But the KUHN ones are super cheap. And then we have the Krona Big M450. So definitely not as many mowers as we've had before. Headers, got the Pottinger, Krona, Samaz, and then the massive Pottinger. Windrowers, we have the couple by SIP, KUHN, Reader, Samaz, Krona. We have the Merge Pro by Anderson and the Pottinger, big old guy right there. Forage wagons. We have ourselves a couple by Pottinger here. You can see down here it's what they're going to pick up, which is pretty much standard there. They won't hold, it looks like, forage. They'll hold, which is interesting because they're forage wagons. So it won't hold forage, but it'll hold TMR. So that's kind of interesting to me. Then we have the Shootamaker, the Fent, a bigger one by Pottinger, and then the Bergman down here at the very bottom. So a lot of different options there. If we hop out of here, grassland care, we have the Dalbo for grassland rolling. And then we also have silage additive on there as well. Baling, we have Massey Ferguson. This one will do the little bales. You can see the size of bales down here, little 120 centimeter guys. You have this one here, the KUHN, bigger baler, Kloss baler, the Massey Ferguson there, the Fent, and then the Krona big pack. Now those are all square balers, so round balers, yep. Oh, square balers, round balers, yep. Each their own category. That makes sense. I think that's a lot better anyways. We have the Govil, the New Holland, the Case, the KUHN, the Krona, the John Deere. This one wraps as well. And then you have this big guy, which will wrap those guys up for you. This is part of the Govil pack back in the day. Then this one will bale poplars. And then we also have the Vermeer baler here. Now, my understanding is if you go into one of these, you can do standard net, film binding, or empty. So you can leave it so you don't have to deal with it. If you just want to just not have to worry about the consumables, you can do that to not have to deal with it. Then we have the Flegel, hold a couple or 3 round bales on there for you. We have the Farm Tech flatbed trailer and the AgriLiner. We've seen those before. Anderson RBM 2000 to hold your pickup 24 round bales. This guy to pick up the little tiny square bales holds 14 at a time. And this guy to hold 14 of the large square bales for you. So there you go. Bale wrappers. We've got the one by Govil that goes in the front of a tractor or the rear or wherever. And then we have the one that you pull behind. And then we have the Anderson, which just makes a big long tube of wrap bales, which is pretty cool. And then we have the one by KUHN, which you can see. The Ronnie wraps on the side of it, which is super cool. So you can do Ronnie wrap white, black, green, nature green, or empty if you don't want to deal with it. So that's also an option for you. Now, I'm assuming that empty doesn't mean you just have to fill it now. I'm assuming that means you don't have to worry about it, but I could be wrong about that. I haven't tested it yet. Miscellaneous, we have the little bale bumper there. Consumables, we have the Ronnie wrap, which you can go in here and change how many you want to order. So if you want to order 8 of them, you can do that, and you can change the color as well, which is pretty cool. Then we have the square bale twine, which you can change to whatever brand you'd like to buy, and then round bale net, also you can change to whatever brand and amount you would like to buy of those nets. So there you go. Moving on to root crops. Under beet harvesters, we have this guy right here, which is just a pull behind defoliator, and this is a pull. I think this is a pull behind. Yeah, massive but pull behind. And then this guy. This is a crazy looking harvester. I love this thing. We got a fact sheet about this. It'll fill up super quick, but that's super cool. Yeah, it only holds 6.5 or 6,500 liters. This guy is really cool as well. I like this, which I don't think we got this as a fact sheet. I think we got this one, but I don't think we got this one, the AgriFact Light Tracks. But that's a pretty cool beet harvester there. You can put tracks on it. So cool. Then we have the Homer, of course, the Pterodos. Then the Tiger here. So got a couple options there. Beet harvester headers. We have the one for the Homer, and then one for the Roper, and then we have a header trailer for the Ropa as well. Beet loading. We've taken a look at this. That's the Mouse 5. Or no, they haven't. Sorry, this is just for beets. We've taken a look at a different one that does everything, but this one just does beets off the ground. Then potato planters. We have the Grimmy Prios, which this one fertilizes well. 3 meters. They're both 3 meters. This is a crazy looking potato planter. Very unique in a lot of ways. Yeah, very unique in a lot of ways. It almost looks like it's designed to hook up to the front of your tractor and go over, but I know that can't be right. It's just wild looking. You can do ridge markers if you want. And then the big old guy here, which we have currently in game, the GL860 Compacta, which is pretty cool. Potato technology, we got the Ropa little harvester here. And then we also have this little Grimmy harvester, and then we have this big old guy right here if you wanted to do a massive amount of them, but that's it for potato harvesters. We need some wider potato harvesters. Consumables, we do have potatoes that you can buy. $9.50 for 1,000 liters is really high for potatoes to plant with. So you definitely want to save some after your harvest. That is super high. Super high. I don't think they're that expensive right now. I don't think you can actually buy them right now in the store like that. But so at least they added them, but you're not going to get that selling them. So vegetable planters, we have the GF400 here. That one's going to just be kind of a ridger there, I believe. So that's going to is that just a ridger? Yep, that's just the ridger. Then we have this guy right here, which is the ridger, another ridger as well. And then we have this guy to plant your vegetables, and also can plant spinach, which is kind of interesting as well. So I like that. Vegetable harvesters. We got this one by DeWolf here. No capacity for that one. No capacity for this one either, but this one will load them into pallets. Or is this the pallet one? No, this one just loads them off to the side as well. We don't have the pallet one, actually, because this one doesn't do the pallets either. This one just loads them off to the side. Yeah, okay. And then we have this guy right here, which does have a little bit of a capacity. So it can hold a little bit of them. Only 5,500 liters, but still it's something. This guy does not have a capacity, but at least you can harvest a lot more with this. So there you go. Spinach harvesters, we of course have the Oxbow, which this is what we knew we'd have for it. Green bean harvesters, we of course have this guy right here, which we knew we'd have for it as well. Ooh, that looks a little exposed there. I wonder if that can get shut, but maybe it's supposed to be exposed. I don't know. Just looks a little odd. Hop out of there. We have a pea harvester here. Quite nice there. You can change it away from a crawler track if you don't want a crawler track on it as well. And then consumables, we have this little pallet right here, which can hold vegetables. So you can put vegetables in there if you'd like to. They're not going to be full or anything. They're empty like that, so you're not buying vegetables. But there you go. And then we move on to special crops like rice planters and rice stuff. So under here, we have the Iseki rice planter or rice transplanter. Again, not too expensive to buy, just pretty sweet. And if we go down here, we have this guy right here, which is the Iseki rice harvester here, which is pretty cool. And you can lease stuff too. You can still do that. It's all very similar to how it used to be. Hop out of there. Sugarcane planters. We got the single row billet planter and the double row there. They both fertilize at the same time. Then we have the sugarcane harvester here, the multi-row here by case, which is what you'd expect. And you can put a trailer hitch on the back of that if you'd like to. And then we have the under sugarcane transport, we have the TT Colossus and the Massey Ferguson here, which we have both of those now, so nothing too crazy. Cotton harvesters, we have the Case IH Module Express, which makes sense. And then we also have the John Deere CP690. So we have both of the cotton harvesters we would expect. Cotton transport, we got this guy right here, which will grab them. This one can hold one large square bale. This can hold two large square bales. This can hold, I believe, is it three bales, 3 round cotton bales. So quite a bit of stuff there. Under consumables, we have the potatoes pallet under here, as well as the sugarcane pallet to plant that, much more reasonably priced. Yeah, 1,000 liters of potatoes for that's crazy. 2,000 for that, that's fine. And then rice saplings, which we knew you could buy, but you can see that you can buy this pallet right here of rice saplings if you wanted to do that instead of grow them yourself in a greenhouse. So that's an option. Grapes and olives. Olive harvesters. So we got this guy right here that also does grapes. This one only does olives, but this one does grapes and olives, which is pretty cool to have kind of a combo one there. This one just does grapes. This one just does grapes. But again, this one does grapes and olives, which is pretty cool. We do have grape trailers. Grapes have to have their own trailer, so that's still a thing. And then grape tools. We have this guy, which trims the leaves. And then we have this guy right here, which is good for spraying. This is good for mulching. And then this is good to plow in between the rice fields or the grapes and whatnot. So there you go. And moving on down to animals. We're getting close. We're getting close. I can almost see the light at the end of the tunnel as this hour video gets close to wrapping up. We have some mixers in here. So again, this is the icon for Forage. This is the one for TMR, the one with the little stars on it. So just to know the difference between those two. But we have this little feed mixer here. We have the Ferguson, Silo King, and then we have the self-propelled ones, the one by KUHN and the one by Ferguson as well. So you have those guys right there. This is barrels? I wouldn't call them barrels maybe, but liquid tanks. Interesting wording. I don't know. I'm not in charge of making the game. But we have the AB and then the larger AB. Then we have the Lizard MKS 8 and 32. So we got those guys available as well. Animal transport. Not a lot of stuff in here. Honestly, this is a little bit upsetting. We have this guy. It's the only thing available. 2 horses. This guy can hold cows, pigs, and sheep. And this one can hold cows, pigs, and sheep. Well, what about water buffalo and what about goats? Now, the fact of the matter is goats can go in with the sheep and water buffalo going with the cows. So I'm assuming these will hold those respectively as well, but we don't know yet. Straw blowers. This one looks new. I don't think we've gotten this before in game. This is a new blower there, I think. And then we also have the classic KUHN one, the Primor 15070M. And then under food, we have wheat for chickens, oats for our horses, pig food for our pigs. Then we have wheat here for the chickens as well as oats for the horses and pig food there. And then we have mineral feed right there, which mineral feed looks different this time. I like that. Moving down, we're on to forestry. Not too many forestry harvesters either right off the bat. Again, more pieces of equipment will be probably added and there'll be more downloadable packs from Giant Software, but they can only put so many in right off the bat, so the rest have to be like downloadable packs. And as patches come, there may be more stuff added. So as you guys are watching this video, there might actually be a lot more equipment in here. We just don't know. This is just what we have right now. So we have this John Deere right here. We have this guy right here, the Komatsu. And then this guy right here, which is just an absolute beast, the Hannibal. Forwarders. We have this guy right here. Engine setup, you can go 180 or 236. We have this guy right here. This big old forwarder here, the John Deere. Then we have the Ponzi. And finally, the Rotney right here. So some pretty good forwarders in there. Under excavators, we do have the Volvo EC250DL. Grapple. And then we also have the processor head and the fast coupler if you wanted to do that. And then we also have this guy right here. Same thing, grapple, harvester head, or fast coupler, depending on what you want to do. Then excavator tools, these are what you can hook up to them. So you have this guy to grab wood. This guy will do like stump grinding. This guy to harvest trees. And then this guy to plant trees. So we got a few different options there. Wood transport, we've seen this trailer before. Then we have the Kesslef 144ND, the Fenzelt, and then we've seen this guy before as well. And then we also have the rear trailer for the Riedler right there, which is pretty coul. Wood chippers, we have the Heizomat and the Gens right here. So Big old guy right there. You can get if you wanted to do that. Very expensive, the Cobra Hybrid is. Mulchers, we've seen these both before. Winches, we do have the Tage Fun in base game, as well as the Kohler. And then this guy is really intense here. You can see kind of some stats about what they'll hold and how long the wires will go and stuff like that down there. Tree planters, we have this guy, and of course we've seen this goes on to the excavator, but we have the dam cone coming back as well. Stump cutters, we have the Prinith in here as a dedicated stump cutter. Under miscellaneous, we have this guy right here, the PM Track 2 or 3, excuse me, which is basically a tractor, but has a few different options for crane and blade, winch and crane, just crane, or standard if you wanted to use it as a tractor and not another tractor. So you can do that. And they have engine setup. We have 180 is the base, then 236, and then back to 180. So a couple options there. Then we have the Volvo High Lift. This thing is just insane. Really glad to see that coming back. Can lift a massive amount of trees and do all that good stuff. Then we have this guy, which we didn't know was coming to the game. We have the Cinnabogan, which is a diesel or electric engine. So 285 with the diesel, 217 with the electric. But this is a crazy looking little tree mover here. The wheels look so small for it, but pretty cool to see that, like that. And it does look like it has supports that will fold out on the sides to keep it in place, which is pretty cool. Saplings, we have poplar, then we have tree saplings, which you can change what you'd like to plant as before. And same with the tree saplings for the dam cone, you can change what you'd like to plant in there as well. Moving on to miscellaneous, we have several weights in here, so I'm just going to quickly scroll through these. I know, weights, very exciting. But in case someone might be very, very fascinated with the weights, so that might just be what it is. Almost done. If you need to pause on any of the weights to read more about them, feel free to do so. A lot of you guys will probably skip the ad, but there you go. Belt systems. We have the Grimmy in here. This one can hold, I mean, they hold anything, move it around. We have this guy right here as well to lift stuff up, move it. And this guy right here to do your potatoes and sugar beets. And then these guys to get stuff in and out of silos. Now, one thing that's interesting to me is I don't see the guy that picks it up off the ground. That belt's not in here. So you may not be able to pick stuff off the ground with the belts, which is kind of interesting. We'll see if, obviously it'll come out as a mod later, I'm sure, if someone wants it. But under winter, we have a snowplow, salt spreader, and a snowblower in here. Under miscellaneous, we have this little trailer right here, which is kind of nifty, its own kind of deal. New extension, cover, or standard there, so a few different options. We have this guy right here, which, what is this? This tool can be used to transport pallets. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we've seen that. We got that with the premium expansion. Then we also have the dolly and the little fuel trailer right here. Big bags. We've seen most of this stuff. I don't think there's anything new that we haven't seen. Road salt, maybe we haven't seen yet. But I think the rest of that we've seen. These pallets, we've seen all of this before. Just want to make sure. Pallet tanks, seen all that. Pallets, make sure there's nothing crazy new. Yeah, we've seen all this stuff at some point already. And then bales, you still can buy bales at the store if you need them. So that's really helpful. Hand tools, we have 4 different types of chainsaws, which you will now have to store in sheds or something like that. They just won't always appear on you. We have marking sprays, so we have 7 different colors of marking spray. Under miscellaneous, we have ourselves the power washer, which is also a placeable available, but it's interesting it's in here too, so I'm assuming this is more portable if you wanted that. Or the Brill mower, so you can do 2.2 to 4.2 meters of mowing with that. And then finally under animals, we have the horse brush, so pretty cool. But that is all of the stuff in the shop. Sorry for such a long video. I hope you guys did enjoy it or got some use out of it or skipped around. Hopefully you guys skipped around to what you wanted to see. That's what I would hope for you. But anyhow, if you guys enjoyed, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.